Hello, everybody. Welcome. The following video is raw footage from a stream I did with Ace Tape Poker's latest ambassador, Ian Simpson. We went over just a random tournament of mine. He'd never seen the hands before, and we just jumped straight in, and he gave me his honest opinion on every single hand. Some of them were not great. Check the video out. Let us know what you think. Thanks very much. Right. So, should we get on with this?
Yes, we should. We should.
We've got a good few hands to go through. This is from a $27 tournament I played off stream day before yesterday.
Okay.
Had a little bit of a run. It's nothing like special. I didn't like win it or anything. Spoiler alert. But yeah, we'll just go through the hands and you can tell me what you think. We're going to look at every hand I played, not just the ones I've e-pipped. So you can tell me if it makes a really tight folds or whatever. Yeah, okay. Should we go?
Do we not have a HUD? Do you play with a HUD?
Show HUD.
Do you play with a HUD?
Yeah, I play with HUD, yes.
Yeah.
But when I do that, it goes kind of all over the place.
What is happening?
Yeah, so I don't really turn the HUD on when I do hand history reviews because it gets a bit messy.
Yeah, let's turn the HUD off. That seems wonky. Anyway, eights. What should we do with eights?
What should we do? Oh my goodness, I just skipped ahead to hand. It's 67. Sorry, let's start again. Eights. We should fold.
You must have late regged.
I did late reg, yes. This might be bullet 2. No, I must know. It was late reg. And this player open raises to 23 big blinds under the gun. So I'm going to fold.
I guess. Fold, yeah. Haven't run a sim on that one.
No. Okay.
Oh, I guess. Folded. Oh, Joshua. Why'd you fold?
Because, I tell you why, Ian. I'm getting very mixed up with this whole multi-way ranges riffraff.
Okay.
And like I'm probably playing a few tables at the time, but I was like, oh yeah, so off-suited, like whatever 5-gapper or whatever it's called. I was just like, well, that's bad, isn't it, in my head? But then it's at the same time it's like a king high version versus button and small blind.
Yeah. So the overcalling in the big blind is very tricky. So I am teasing when I say why did you fold a little bit. I totally see why you folded. So your continuing range here is very heavily dependent on the positions of the opening players. So if we were against under the gun and under the gun 1, our king 9 is likely in a fair bit of trouble. And it would be closer to a fold then. I think I would still call just because it's just connected. But king 8 would go in the bin. King 9 might be a fold as well, actually, in that situation. Okay. In this situation, though, you're against much wider ranges. Like, the button has king deuce suited in his range. So you actually end up dominating some of his range. The caller in the small blind, it's not like if they were a caller under the gun 1, which would be a very tight, strong range that dominates the king 9. They have 8-7 suited here. They have, ace 4 suited, which we're doing good equity-wise against. So this one I would call, but I do understand your hesitation with it because, yeah, overcalling, going 3 ways from the big blind is very tricky because, one of the other problems, let's say we had king 8, which was just a little bit less, it doesn't have that connectivity. If our opponent has 8-9, and that's in both of our opponent's ranges, whilst we dominate, that's actually a bad thing 3-way, because it's actually sucking out one of our outs that we need to win the hand, because we're going to need to hit something to win the hand, usually 3 ways. It's very rarely won by high card. So we don't just have king high showdown here. We need to make a pair. And if someone has 8-9 suited here, that's actually really bad for us 3-way.
Is it?
Yeah, strangely enough.
I just had a quick look at some ranges while you were explaining that, and my calling ranges, it's down to king 3 offsuit. So I think.
Wow, it's wider than I thought.
I'll put it on the stream right now. So this is my calling range in the big blind in this spot. So very, very tight fold for me to start the day, but tend to start tighter in these things.
Where did you get that from?
That's BBZ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if yeah. So ranges change. I know people have opinions of different ranges, but
Yeah.
I like to use
Okay.
the guide. Yeah. Um,
I'm not going to argue with BBZ. I thought overcalling with the king three offsuit here would be bad.
it is mixing. King four off suits pure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But anyway, tight fold, but we move.
Type fold.
Um,
Type fold.
and we're gonna be folding the jack four offsuit there, and we're gonna be folding the ace four offsuit there. Fold jack deuce. Cash king will be very upset. This is a fold. I think it's just one pip out, isn't it? One position out from a raise.
At this stack depth, maybe two positions out.
Oh, you reckon? Okay.
I
Doesn't
should
matter.
have
This is
opened
not,
my
no.
range before we started. Yeah,
It's
if we were 100 deep and I knew the table was soft, then yeah, we're in. What are we? We're 40 deep in the hijack,
yeah, low jack, isn't it?
low jack.
Yeah.
King five suited from that position.
Okay.
And hijack is king four suited. This is off of 40.
Yeah. So expert
But
fold.
but you know what? It's soft tables. We can get away with opening a little bit wider. Like if you open this, I wouldn't be sad. I would,
Yeah.
if you've got any sort of inkling about the players behind not three betting enough, then you can open this because that's the reason you can't open too many of these suited king hands. Is the opponent's three bet frequencies should punish you for it.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then you get to realize equity with quite a tasty hand. These hands are kind of undervalued somewhat, because people overplay their suited connectors, and you can dominate suits and have a really good time with them now and then. So I wouldn't have hated opening this. It's outside of GTO, but if you've got opponents who aren't three betting enough, then you can get away with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that because I do find myself in much softer fields. I love a suited king, so I'm opening them
Mm.
for as wide as I possibly can sometimes.
Yeah.
But this is more at the higher end of my buyer range at the moment, and I
Okay.
would be trying to be a little bit more snug, I think, which is, yeah. I fold these deuces on her, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, king nine, the big blind again.
Another king nine. Okay, blind be blind.
They go one big blind raise.
So this is a huge mistake from the opponent.
Yeah,
Huge.
And I've seen a lot of people doing this actually. A lot of people just thinking it's
Loads of
standard to
people do
min
it.
raise small blind and or like just 2.5 exit. Way too much.
Look at the odds he's given you. 4-1 in position. Like what's your continuing range here?
I think I fold like 8 deuce off. I don't know, but like I really don't see everything suited. I'm calling that whole portion of my range is getting called. Any ace, any king, any queen, any 10, and maybe any 9, and then maybe I start to take out some of the worst 8s and 7s and stuff. But
Yeah, I mean,
anything connected, 2-3 offsuit is getting called here.
Yes, 100.
Yeah,
So you're
2-4
defending
offsuit.
you're defending like 90%.
Yeah.
I've been defending 100%.
All right.
I don't know if that's overdoing it. I don't when there's ICM involved, but in this spot there won't be any ICM involved.
Howdy
It's
JJ
just
says no folding. He's probably right,
it's
to be
just
fair.
yeah, you've got 4-1 in well, hey howdy, how you doing? How do you see me talk about this spot? I bet. Yeah, 4-1 in position. I don't think we fold anything.
Well, I mean, I'd pretty struggle to fold 8 deuce offsuit here.
Yeah.
Zongt,
hello Zongt.
how you doing, Zongt, mate? Hope you're good today.
So
Right.
yeah, when I say your continuing range, we do have three bets here too. So sometimes I'll three bet the very bottom of my range, like the 7 deuce off.
Okay.
Because if
That's
I'm
actually
it's
that's
got
actually a good point. I don't think I'd ever do that. So
yeah, it's got to go in one category, and you should three bet a fair bit here. And people are playing. I mean, we've already know that he's made a huge mistake here. Like
yeah,
this is the biggest mistake that still somehow occurs in poker.
all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I make a call.
Anyway.
Drag out Alex sub. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
He's a reg from the off-peak schedule who likes to battle with me. And
Oh, really?
I don't like to battle with him because he's a bit good. But thank you very much for the sub.
He's given a little bit of the value back, is he?
He's given
With the
some value
sub.
back. Yeah, he definitely has a lot more than that from me. Anyway, I defend, and it's ace 7 ace board, and our opponent goes for a check. What would you like to do?
Yeah, and this with this exact hand?
Yeah.
What does our value range look like here?
Uh,
We have a bunch of ace X, obviously. We kind of
yeah.
don't want to bet our ace X. We probably don't bet. See, I don't know, but I don't know what we're supposed to do because he's not supposed to have started this game
Yeah,
tree.
yeah,
You know what I mean? We're
yeah,
not
yeah,
meant to be in this situation.
yeah.
Um, I know that we're going to have a lot of junk in this spot, so we probably want to protect that somewhat.
Okay. I don't think I do that.
You
Wow.
go for a bet.
Sorry, but Zonks has just gifted 3 subs. That's amazing. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
zonked.
One for Grimbliat, Robin PG, and Humandes, regulars of the stream, all from Z. So we
Damn.
gotta live with the loud mammoth noise 3 times, but I'm okay with that. Thank you so much, mate. That's very generous of you. Okay. So
So you go for a bet.
I do not.
I'm
I
not gonna.
check.
Okay, I'm not going to say that's right or wrong because honestly, I don't know. It's actually a bit of a tricky spot because I don't know what the min raising range looks like. We're
I think
probably pretty high. We're pretty high in our range right now.
I'm pretty looking
But
for show. I think I was looking for showdown on this hand, and
yeah, that's probably best. I think if we had like king high, a worse king high with a backdoor flush draw, maybe that's a bit more worthy of a bet for like
yeah,
some double barreling opportunities. But yeah, anyway, you check. Opponent now bets.
1 big blind.
I'm calling.
It's
Blind
simple.
be blind. Lovely, yeah.
And then we
Oh,
make the nuts on
okay.
the river.
We do make the nuts on the river. We're either value betting ourselves or calling their bet. That's my plan before I see what they do.
They check. I don't know. Okay, so I do bet, and this is my sizing. I don't know how you think about this.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
want
I want a king high to make a silly call. I want a 7 to make a call. I want a pocket 3s to make a call.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you saw
Yeah,
that.
lovely. Yeah, well played hand. I like it. Like it a lot.
I know we went into quite a lot of depth on what on the outside looks like a seemingly simple hand, so that's good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Fold, fold,
We'll fold
fold.
this one.
34 bigs. The ace 3 offsuit.
We're gonna go back to this. 33 bigs at the cutoff.
Yeah, I think it is. It's incredibly close. Again, it's one of those hands you could open if your opponents were bad, but yeah, just fold's good. Fold GTO. If you knew your opponents went 3 betting, you could get away with it.
Yeah. King Jack off under the gun. Well, but we're missing
We
2 hands as well, so
are
we're 6
7-handed. Yeah, yeah,
700.
lovely. Good open.
I can get 3 bets, so
And
I'll
it's just
fold.
lovely, lovely. Good play.
4-5 off of the big blind. Oh, I know this hand. You're gonna like this one.
Is it the same villain?
Same villain, but they're
Same
now
villain.
3x'd it.
Okay.
So alarm bells are ringing.
We call. That's fine. Okay.
4 queen king,
Mm-hmm.
and they bet half pot.
I'm calling. We've got position.
Okay, we do cool.
Good.
Queen pairs turn, so that's not a bad card for us. I wouldn't say necessarily.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good now that the ranges, because after the flop goes bet call, ranges have condensed a lot.
Yeah.
His range is wider though because he still have a bunch of bluffs on flop, presumably. So yeah, it's a really good card for our range,
So
and a good card for our hand because it's not a club and it's not like even like a 6 is kind of bad, you know, because
yeah,
they could just have a random 6. Now, so they went
3 big
half
blinds
pot
on
on
flop.
flop, right?
There were 3 big blinds pre,
Yeah.
3 on the flop for half pot,
No, flop
and they
blinds,
bet
yeah.
a third, just under.
So what's your experience with this betting line? What do you think recreationals are doing this with?
It's unbelievably passive, and you can be lots of. It can be draws. It can be nothing. It could be like ace 6 offsuit, like without a club. I've seen that sort of stuff like a lot.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, I'm still thinking on this time card. I think I've got to continue, especially when the board isn't completed.
Yeah. In my experience, it's a hand they don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those awkward hands. So I wouldn't be surprised to see pocket 7s here that doesn't know what to do. I wouldn't be surprised to see ace 6 offsuit that doesn't know what to do. They don't know if they're supposed to bluff. They don't know if if they have showdown, because it's so incredibly rare that you in GTO world you take a smaller sizing on turn than you did on flop. And I know he's bet 4 big blinds, not 3. I'm talking about percentage of pot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm calling again.
We do cool. 2 of clubs on the river. How do you feel about that?
Bluffing.
You're bluffing.
I'm bluffing. I'll jamming.
Yeah.
Stick it to him. 1/5 pot. Get the fuck out of here.
We've got. You don't want a hero call?
No, I want to jam.
Okay, we jam.
Lovely, Joshua. Delicious. Nom, 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 nom.
I thought you'd like that.
I love it. I love it.
And if I remember rightly, there was no tanking. It was just a snap fold.
Lovely.
But it worked very nicely versus whatever they were doing that with. I have no idea. But it would fold out a lot of hands that were beating us. Like if they did have
so
like
many hands,
5s through 10s without club, and
they'll fold. Sometimes they fold a club here.
They could fold a bad club. I'd probably fold a bad club if I was them. If I'd somehow found myself with that betting line on the river with like the 3 or 5 of clubs or something, probably still folding. Anyway, okay. Glad you approved the hand. Didn't think it was too crazy.
No, wonderful hand. Very well played.
Good. All right, ace queen. I go for a call over a 3-bet at this stack depths.
Yeah, super duper.
Same villain. Same villain. Don't forget.
Same villain. Yeah, I want to like they're gonna. You can argue to like not 3-bet very much at all here, even with some bladed hands.
Oh yeah.
Well, they played the last hand. No offense to. Well, we don't know who they are. We don't have a screen name here.
Yeah,
so
I turned screen names off to protect people. So.
But that protected from me saying that they're a bit shit because that the 2 lines in the past 2 hands, blind v blind, have been pretty poor. Just the bet sizings, the betting patterns have been, a bit all over the place. So I really want to see. I really want them to make mistakes post flop.
Yeah.
So there's definitely an argument for flatting some strong hands here.
So we get to play heads up versus them.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. Oh, excuse me. They do the same thing.
They bet 3. So how often should they bet here, do you think, in GTO land?
I don't really know, but I feel like they should be doing quite a lot of checking here, right? I mean,
yeah, the people bet continuation bet out of position a lot more frequently than they're supposed to. King high boards are actually pretty good for it because they have a bit of a king advantage in their range. So king high boards do get c-bet more often than ace high boards or 10 high boards or things like that. So his bet isn't bad in this instance, but it depends how often he's doing it. If he's just doing it 100% of the time, it's terrible. And I suspect they will be doing it too much because Daniel Negreanu once made a video 12 years ago about how powerful c-bets were, and no one's forgotten it. So,
I mean, I actually still remember that. I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, let's call.
Yeah.
Lovely. 8, and they bet 5.
Yeah. They sort of changed things up a bit. So this is where I'd be kind of like, all right, I'm a bit annoyed about this, but I'm probably just going to fold this now. I don't know how you would feel about me just chucking it away here. But he's got 10 bigs behind as well. Let's not forget. So
yeah, I'm feeling the same as you. It's kind of grim now, right?
It is.
The other thing, I mean, but they're kind of a bit button clicky. They just click that. I would have labeled them JCB by now. Just clicking buttons. That's one of my tags.
That's a good one.
Yeah, GCBs.
I like that.
So I think this is going to be close to indifferent. I think it's not going to be losing money to call, but I don't think it's going to be making much money either.
Yeah, that's been the hands.
Yeah.
When I see the stacked pot going into the river and I've not improved, I'm just like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
still got the chips in the last hands.
I think that's best. I think I might be, but I'm open to being disproven on that one. That might be a call. It might be a winning call, but it's awkward as heck. Anyway, yeah, I agree with it, but I'm open to someone better than me proving me wrong there. Definitely.
Absolutely. RFG123 says, let's get a study on. And Cracks says, a nice to see this type of stream. Thanks, guys. You're most welcome. I just want to thank you just quickly, Ian, for coming on. Appreciate it. It's a
Sorry.
great bit of bonus content. Great bit of bonus content to have you on. So I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's I love this kind of thing. Zonked with a very, I think Zonked has one chat today. JCB, I resemble that umpire.
Just
It's
speaking
very
words.
good.
All right, before they start here anyway. How do JJ talk about the ace queen hand versus this guy? I think we can
Yeah.
happily fold and wait for a better spot versus him. Look at him, 4x opens exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 2 5s, and I'm gonna open here.
Although waiting for better spots, someone else might get him. Is my worry,
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
I don't necessarily wait for better spots. If it's a good spot, I'll take it.
yeah. Exactly. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got
Anyway,
fives.
opening
Go for an
fives.
open. 7-handed.
Yeah.
Gets through. Wonderful.
Gets through.
Next hand. Oh yeah, go for a limp here.
And we've lost the recreational on our right.
We've
So
lost the rec. Yeah.
Yeah, table dynamics changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, limps, of course, good.
Fold.
And we fold.
Aces.
Hello.
We like this hand.
We like this hand.
And
Nothing unusual.
this is
Easy game.
how you
Lovely,
go deep in
lovely.
tournaments, I guess.
This is how you win tournaments. Perfectly well played hand by the villain, by the way, in
Yeah.
case anyone's wondering.
Agree.
Lovely spot to 3-bet jam.
Am I
Good
good to fold here?
Yeah, good fold.
Good.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, we can't set mine out of that position, really. We'd have to be really deep or have a monster read on the table.
How about here? So it's opened up a 20 big blind stack in the hijack. We're going to cannon it.
Yeah.
Folded.
No!
I'm sad.
Yeah,
I'd 100% be looking at this spot, though. Let's have a look at what the HUD says quickly about this player. I'd 100% be looking at this spot to jam. So if it depends really on the villain. So villain 7. I haven't got many stats on them. Can't really make heads or tails of this HUD because it's not my standard HUD. Hang on, there we go. This is my standard HUD. Yeah, so look at these their stats. So there are 16 VPIP, 11 PFR, and a 3.8 3-bet. And I'd look at that and be like, it's not the sort of guy I really want to jam King Jack off versus.
Yeah, but you've already got 69 hands.
Jack can't see what I'm talking about. This is my HUD here. So these are their stats in this window. 69 hands, yeah, nice. But
yeah, nice.
Poker is a game, in my opinion, where
people fold the 3-bets way too often.
That's true, but poker is a game, in my opinion, where we need to be making snap assumptions on players, and I think where we just don't necessarily need to be launching a hand like that, and then I just sort of avoid it. If they were opening 25 or 22% plus or whatever, and then I'm all for it. Now that's me defending myself.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the defense, the argument, but
you're still jamming.
I think I jam here. Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Let's go, Josh. Thanks very much, Fat Bob. King Jack off. I hate this hand, says Zunkt. It is one that gets you into a spot of bother. No, but we just wait for pocket pairs like this.
I'll just check out the range viewer I've got. It's King Jack off as a pure call.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm a little bit too loose there with my jam. There is a lot of jamming. It's jamming 14%, by the way. So pocket deuces all the way to pocket kings. Ace 5 suited jam sometimes. Ace 7 suited is pure jam. Ace 10 off. King queen off. Jack 10 suited is a pure jam. Jack 9 suited is jamming half the time.
Okay, so early on here, it's quite clear to see that this is the same as last time, but this is a little bit better than it was last time. But I'm just a bit too tight still. I need to look at some ranges.
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably
I have been looking at ranges, but so many, man. It's so hard this game.
But there's infinite ranges like it. Yeah.
It's so many.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, under the gun opens, 7-handed.
Yeah.
We have 10s on the button.
7-handed. GTO would raise, get it in.
Okay.
That's not as profitable in a lower buy-in game because people's 4-bet range will be much tighter.
Yes.
But it's too strong to 3-bet fold. So if we are 3-betting, I'm not folding it. There are some hands out 3-bet fold, like for value, like Ace Queen offsuit. We can 3-bet it for value because people still call 3-bets with like 7-8 suited, 10 Jack suited. But when we get 4-bet, Ace Queen's not doing so great against a 4-bet jamming range.
Okay.
10s, I think, will do good enough against a 4-bet jamming range. We'll be against Ace King, Ace Queen enough. Even pocket 9s sometimes. So yeah, 3-betting, not folding. I don't think.
All right, very cool.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. Yeah, good result.
And a good board.
Lovely board.
Now here's something as well. I'm always kind of unsure on my sizings. If I've got queens plus, I'm like I just auto click a third. And with
Mhm.
these sort of pocket pairs, I don't know if I should be doing exactly the same. Sometimes I don't, and I like go like half because I look to get it in a
Uh,
card earlier, basically.
yeah, I see what you're saying. I would just go third on flop. My coach,
Mm.
Gareth James, I think he tends to look for playing for stacks from the turn. Usually, he looks
All
for
right.
geometric sizings from there. Usually, the flop is just the standard small bet in stuff in spots like this.
Yeah. I think you're probably. I think that's definitely right, actually. Like in hindsight, and if I was to bet a
I
third
hope I'm
here,
not
and
I hope I'm not misquoting Gareth there because I yeah.
if I were to get this all in, and they've got 6, 7 suited, or they've got pocket sevens, pocket eights, pocket nines, it's still going in if I bet a third or whatever. So I think
Yeah,
that's
you might
absolutely right.
actually yeah. Yeah, you might actually get some hands folding here that you don't necessarily want to
Yeah.
fold.
So like a king queen of diamonds, maybe like might want to
Yeah.
peel one off of a smaller bet.
And while that's uncomfortable to be against that hand, I get the discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
It's a profitable thing
Yeah,
for
we
them
don't
to
want them to
check
fold.
call there. Or they might even check jam it.
Okay, so sizing issue there.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
We take it down.
Especially if you've got different sizings with aces and pocket tens, and you're streaming and talking about that to your villains.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, I have an 8-5 suited here on the cutoff. How do you feel about this?
Okay, so you've killed the not playing enough hands flaw, have we? You've overkilled it.
I'm trying to think about it a bit more, and when I'm playing, especially on my own, like without streaming, when I get down to the like a few tables, I can actually zone in a lot more and think about what my open should be look like.
No, like
This
I'm
probably
not
is.
saying I'm not saying this is bad or anything yet, because there might be some table dynamics going on that makes it fine. Like if your opponent's just on 3-betting, then this is fine because you're not going to get blasted off your equity.
Daytime
If
breaks
you're
are not
on,
3-betting unless they've got the good hands.
yeah, but they're still going to 3-bet enough to punish 8-5 suited.
Good point.
I think, yeah. If we're on the bubble, it would still be an exploit open. It would still be too loose on the bubble. I believe. Maybe not actually. No. On the bubble, we can open this good.
I don't know if you know me well enough, Ian, but I like to do this thing called street poker.
Street
And
poker.
street poker, yeah, it's not my thing. I copied it from my coach actually. He's very streety.
Streety poker. No, I don't mind street poker. Now what, friendo? Now what?
Bet 1/3.
Okay.
We've got a really good card here. Eight of clubs is a lovely card, right?
You got a double gutter. The
Yeah,
six is an out
yeah.
as well. But how? But like the six isn't the nuts. The 10 isn't the nuts here. This is the problem with this hand.
This is a good.
And
This is
you don't get to bet small on this board either.
they
Well,
lead.
not in GTO land.
Would you like me to fold now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't play 8-5 suited from the cutoff.
I peeled this
With
turn
that,
somehow.
yeah, you're not folding a double gutter.
Right. Oh,
Drills it. Drills the 20th nuts.
so this is a bit of a streety hand, right?
And they check. They let. Hang on. How do they lead? How do they lead that turn and check river? What are they checking?
I have no idea.
Have they let it 9?
I bet quite big though.
They're calling very rarely, so there's something to be said for actually betting big, because it's you might as well get lots when they call.
Well, I don't understand the line at all.
Me either. So I'm looking for them to have something just that they shouldn't have. So yeah, I don't hate a big bet. He
Yeah.
might scare off a 9 with that bet size is the only problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes the bet size doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just they're either calling or they're not. So you might as well bet big.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
This is funky. That was a funky hand.
I don't hate it
because in an ICM situation you will get a heavily ICM situation. You will get to play hands like that. I'd probably go for big bet on the flop though, because I think
I don't claim
small
to
bet.
be the best player. I don't claim to be a good player in, but
You
what
are a
I
good player. You are a good player.
well,
I'm just
what
yeah.
I try and do is I know I achieve is they said it's not boring. You know, we do find ourselves in fun situations. Um, okay, ace queen suited.
You are a good poker player. You've got outstanding results, dude. So
Oh, gee,
don't give me
thanks so
that.
much.
These are like little refinements. Like
I know.
these hand histories, like it's kind of strange because I remember when I was learning to drive, I would get disheartened because like I was getting corrected like all the time. You know, I would spend
Yeah,
an hour just being corrected on lots of little things, and I would leave the lesson thinking I'm shit at driving. And I don't want you to get that same feeling if I'm like talking about little refinements in this game because if you just look at your graph, if you ever feel down about your game, Josh, just look at your fucking graph. It's gorgeous. So
thank
yeah,
you.
it's just like little refinements that we're looking for.
Exclamation mark graph in chat. No, yeah, I appreciate that. But I know what you mean, and that's exactly what kind of put me off studying poker.
Yeah,
At the
it's
very
not
beginning, I
it's
got a
so
coach.
uncomfortable.
I got
Yeah,
a coach who was way, way too good for me, basically at the time, and he just made me feel bad.
right.
It's
Damn,
quite a well-known player as well. So
really.
he's a nice guy, but he didn't hold back.
Yeah, I think that in coaching there's you need to be nice because you are this is a very vulnerable thing to be doing, opening up
Yeah,
your game for other people to watch.
yeah,
And it's different to streaming because streaming, you know, you're just there to have a bit of a you kind of there just have a bit of fun and enjoy the community.
hmm
But this is like sort of the serious nitty gritty intellectual analysis that's really exposing to your
yeah,
soul.
and it really can make you feel very, very stupid. So
Yeah,
I do get that.
never feel like that because you're a winning poker player, and that's you know.
Not winning enough in.
Yeah.
I'm not winning at all lately,
Yet,
actually.
that's why we're here.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Ace
anyway,
queen suited.
we also open a screen suited. You changed your raise size. Did you went 2.2 instead of
I
2?
did. Yeah, and that's for no reason whatsoever. Probably a tell of some
Okay.
kind. I'd usually look at this big blind and I'd be like, well, they got less than 20. I'm in open now. I've gone 2.2 for whatever reason.
Okay.
It could be no, it won't be because it's the type player as well, so I should still be going 2x.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah it's not good or bad. I'm just curious. Hey, Fat Bob, how you doing?
but I go 2.2 again here, so got some sort of
Consistency.
yeah. I get 3 bets, so just jam, off.
It's making money. Sure,
They fold. They 3-bet fold.
we
Oh,
can.
hang on. The 3-better was off 60 big blinds. So yeah, I was thinking this at the time. Should I just cold four? Just gone the
What make it 15 bigs?
they 3-bet off 60 bigs,
Yeah,
and I just hammered this in.
yeah.
Uh,
It's awkward stack sizes for sure.
yeah, that's what I thought at the
Um,
time.
So yeah, you can either make it like 15 and a half bigs or jam. You could flat. I don't hate flatting. Like I don't think the solvers do it very often, but I really don't hate.
Yeah, I thought about this at the time, and I think that this player is half decent reg, and I thought, well, actually, I'd rather just shove now than play post flop here.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely fair.
This is quite fresh in my memory. This one, so I kind of vaguely remember some of these things. But so okay, you're okay with this big, massive 120 big
It's
blind
ma
pot? It would be if I got called.
it's making money, so I'm not gonna say it's wrong. If they're a good reg, then like ending and
Would,
the objective should never to be end the hand. It should always be like to get value or to get
yeah,
equity denial or to make better hands fold. Um, but yeah, flatting against a good reg isn't as good as against a rec because we're out of position and they're going to be able to leverage that. And
yeah,
a bad player is not going to leverage their position as well.
yeah. Okay,
So
right. Next hand, we go around to small blinds, who has 35 big blinds and limps to us in the big blind who covers them. We have ace four offsuit.
uh-huh.
Do you
I
raise?
don't
Do you
know.
check?
I don't know. I'm checking. I'm looking. I'm looking at what with 40 effective, give or take. Yeah, like the. Do you know how often you're supposed to raise here?
Isn't it like nearly half the time or something.
Well, I'm looking at a range viewer now. It's 35% of the
Hmm.
time.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
really know what my raising range is meant to look like. It's like my absolute worst
it's
hands and my best hands.
no, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of it's very strange. This is why it's difficult. That's why I'm saying I don't know. I'm being honest. It's a difficult. It's not a range you can fucking memorize because there's all sorts of things that get mixed. Like I'm looking at a range now. Jack 3 suited is a pure check. 9-3 suited is a mix between half raises, half
Yeah,
checks,
it's a
and there's
tough
all
one to.
sorts of wonky stuff in there. Um, so you've got the strong linear part of your range, where you got. I mean, tens is checked half the. Oh, hang on. I'm looking
Probably
at the
done
wrong
wrong.
fucking range. I'm looking at the wrong range. Yeah, so you gotta. Yeah, it is still a wonky range. Like you've got pocket fives all the way to aces and like king queen suited, ace queen, ace eight off, all pure raising, ace nine suited pure raising. And then you've got a whole bunch of stuff that mixes. Like queen three suited is a mix between raises and checks. 3-2 off is a mix between raises and checks.
It's a minefield, isn't it?
Um, but then like queen five off is pure limp. Now the reason the solvers come up with like such weird ranges like that is a mixture between board coverage and wanting bluffs. Um, so yeah, what matters more is the frequency with which you make the raise. And it's sorry, you were right. It's 43% of the time you meant to raise because I was looking at the wrong range. So yeah, you said half, and you're very, very, very close. So you meant to raise here 43% of the time.
Wow.
Ace four off is a mix. Ace three off is a pure limp. For what it's worth.
I mixed check.
Yeah, we mixed check. We'll say that was good. But yeah, you meant what matters is the frequency. So if you like Jack
Yeah.
seven suited is a pure check, but if you raise that, it wouldn't be like a mistake
No. No.
because it's the frequency in this spot that matters more than the hand selection. I think, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Very difficult to be truly balanced in this game.
massively. And
Imagine
you
having
should
those.
you shouldn't even aim for it.
Yeah,
Like,
imagine having those ranges nailed. It's like.
yeah, if you're playing 109s plus, then yeah, you've got to worry about balance.
Hmm.
Below 109s, you're really, really thinking about exploiting.
Hmm.
Even in good 109s, you should be looking to exploit. Zongt has a question. Is this going to be available on the VOD?
Yes, and I repaired the issue from last time, so you will be able to hear Ian speaking. And
Marvelous.
I'm also going to download it and upload it to a YouTube channel, unedited, except for the first 12 minutes where Ian talks about some rather unsavory things about me. Um, so yeah.
Anyway, this hand.
Anyway, so yeah, they limp. I check back. They check.
Mhm.
I. You wait and see
One
what I
big
do.
blind.
One big blinds. I think I don't do that. I love showdown. Maybe too much. But look at
The
that turn.
check isn't bad.
Okay.
I just think I would lean towards one big blind for some equity denial.
Okay.
One big blind bet.
So I can't
But
seem to start
check isn't bad at all.
betting now. I think I'm done with betting here.
Yeah, let's check this turn.
And I bet.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This is yeah. Like what didn't bluff earlier? Did he check 6-7 suited on this flop? No. Did he check? I don't know. 10 deuce suited on turn? Get the fuck out of here, did he?
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Just a fold. Yeah. Like you should hold on to pairs for dear fucking life, blind be blind.
Yeah.
But in that exact instance, it's like, what didn't he bluff earlier? We just had
No,
to fold.
exactly. King 4 suited to a raise. I think this is probably a flat, actually, isn't it? Yeah. I think in range land, 40 effective.
They're raising from the button.
Yeah.
This one is mixed between calling and folding. So good call. Ooh,
Interesting.
big blind leads.
And then raises from the button.
Oh,
So
what? I was hoping we got to be spicy here, but I guess that's been taken away from us.
Yeah, no spice.
Damn,
They got very spicy between
they
themselves.
got very spicy. Wow, he flops the flush and
It's in.
wow. I think I quite like the lead from Villain 8 there actually.
Yeah, that's good.
Because obviously 2-3-5 is very good for a big blind. They can have all of the
Oh,
saucy little hands there.
okay, this is a bit of a blunder.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, blunder.
I'm
Okay, let's
afraid
see if there's
so.
any mitigating circumstances as to why I would fold here. Uh, let's have a look.
7.
Other than I'm absolutely okay.
Oh
They
yeah.
are extraordinarily nitty, but I don't know if that's enough. Um, so fold.
So
ICM, no, not at this point, Lee.
so so when people like I don't if there's very little ICM, they shouldn't jam anything for this sizing. They should have min raises and not open jams at this stack depth.
Yeah,
I,
but at
I
these
believe.
stakes,
I believe.
people do shove queens,
And
jacks.
what are they? Yeah, like I'm not. They will have. I don't think they'll have queens in my experience. They'll have tens and jacks for sure, but they'll also have
Pro
that
fold.
hand. They'll also have pocket eights and less.
This is why I fold nines, by the way.
Oh yeah, the queen. You knew the queens were waiting.
Yeah, he has. There's a tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am calling the nines.
Yeah.
People. While he does have a few of those scared hands, pocket tens and pocket jacks, he has so many other scared hands that nines are doing great against, like that hand, like pocket eights and worse. So yeah, the nines are going in for me.
I mean, eights are going in. Are they eights going in for you? I think seven's probably
Yeah.
no, right?
Yeah, I think that's my line as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bit of a blunder. I think I'm going to defend this. I think I fold king nine, but I reckon I'll defend queen nine. Oh no, I default. That's bad, isn't it?
This is a lot closer because of the positions of the
Yeah.
players. I would call this queen 8 is much more borderline. I'd still probably call queen 8 against those positions for all the things we talked about in the king 9 hand way early in the stream.
Yeah.
So you could rewind to the king 9 hand to get that discussion if you're watching the VOD.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's, again, nitty for me. I could take a quick look at ranges, but I won't do that right now. Is this mosey on? I just fold 3 deuce off here. You're not meant to fold really anything though, are you?
No, you still fold a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Although I have heard pros not folding anything from the small blind against reparations in the big blind.
Yo, Sambo with the sub. Thank you so much, mate. 16 months as well. Wow.
But yeah,
Sorry.
it is just a fold. Yeah, it would be the biggest exploit to be Pip here.
Yeah. If I just knew something about them, I would potentially.
Yeah.
Chat full
Nice.
suit on the button. You happy with that?
Lovely, jubbly. Yep. Lovely, lovely. All good stuff. Nines again. Ooh. I want to look at the stacks behind.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So what I was thinking, because the stacks behind, I probably want to call here. So I probably will do that in game, I imagine.
Sounds good to me.
I think if the stacks behind were like, 30 plus, then I'll look at 3-betting to,
The people have been like jamming with 30 big blinds a lot more than they used to because people tend to emulate what the pros are doing, and pros have discovered more and more good players have discovered there's good reasons to jam 30 big blinds as a squeeze.
Yeah.
The recreationals emulate that, and they don't necessarily emulate it with the right range. So trapping with nines when opponents have 30 behind is pretty good too, I think.
So we go for the little trap ski. And we get to go heads up in position.
Yep, and that's perfectly fine.
Villain checks.
Ooh, excuse me. You got me up early, Josh.
It is early, isn't it? Hang on, do you have like a 3-year-old daughter?
2-year-old, but yeah.
2-year-old daughter. She doesn't let you sleep in past 10.
No, indeed. Although my wife took the morning shift today, so
Okay, I
I
see.
did get to sleep past 10. Well, past 9 actually. Two big blinds sounds good to me. 2.25.
2.23.
Ah, Josh, terrible
Close.
mistake.
Terrible mistake. But then calls
Make
though.
call.
So
Okay, on
betting
nines.
because I want to protect basically
Yeah, and we
versus
can get
reduction.
called by worse, like pocket
Yeah.
eights on folding. Although I think they maybe should fold pocket eights without a diamond, but people don't.
Mm. Let's check again. Would you like to bet again?
No, too thin on ace high.
Me neither. Okay.
On like a 10 high, I'd be more inclined to bet again
Okay. Makes sense.
because the opponent has less 10x in their range,
Hmm.
like at the very start of the hand. River?
We check. Do we want to value a 9 of diamonds? Because we went check, and I imagine that our opponent, but like if he's
Yeah.
made a flush in the river, a good one, you'll want to bet it, but it's going to be a pretty good one. So, do we have
Man, this
loads
is
of like?
awkward.
Do we have loads of like
I'm,
Jack 10 of diamonds that want to check here from them anyway on the
they,
river? They're just cool
they
bets.
probably have. Their calling range is probably a little too strong to value bet this one. The big problem is that all the little diamonds are out there, so we can't have pocket sixes with a diamond, right? Can't have
No,
pocket fours with a diamond.
exactly.
And the five of the pocket fives of the five of diamonds, we don't beat that either.
We want to have like Ace
Um,
8 with the 8 of diamonds or something. That's about as best as we can hope for, I suppose.
yeah, if the board was like had a couple of big diamonds out there, I mean the hand would have been completely different, obviously. But you know, um, that would be blocking some of their better calls, like if the Jack of Diamonds was out there.
Yeah, I
So
see
yeah, I'm
that.
just checking this one.
I do
Well
check.
worth thinking about. Yeah, well worth thinking about and looking for the thin value spots. But yeah, because the board is blocking like pocket sixes with a diamond
Hmm.
and hands like that. Like we want pocket sevens with a diamond, pocket eights with a diamond to call us. But they have ace jack with a diamond. They have ace queen with a diamond. They have pocket kings with a diamond, queens, jacks, tens with a diamond. So yeah, I think a value bet's too thin.
Yeah, agree. And they do just have pocket kings.
Well played hand, sir. Well played hand from both.
Yeah, agree. I would have folded this last hand history, I reckon. And you would have been like, Joshua!
Damn, dude. Joshua.
Getting better. Alright, nut flush draw.
Ooh.
Gonna bet a quarter pot probably.
Okay. I like it.
And third pot.
Lovely, lovely.
Cheers, Zonks. Catch you later.
Later,
They,
Zomps. Take care.
they go for a weird check raise. Are you ever not all in?
Just trying to think if there's an argument for not jamming. Yeah, just get it the fuck in.
I think EC calls this the megaphone, but I don't know if that's
I don't
megaphone
know if
enough.
this isn't megaphone. This is just a
No.
guy clicking buttons. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Rip.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they did either.
They
Yeah.
folded. They don't know what they're doing. Clearly.
No. They can. I mean, they can call off with a worse flush draw, though. By the way, like if we didn't have the nut flush draw, I'd be more inclined to just call.
That's a good point,
I
actually.
think. Yeah.
Get it in with a ace high over there, like king high or whatever.
Yeah.
This is early, isn't it? I'm usually struggling at this time in the morning on my stream. It's like, I'll wake up,
Yeah.
guys. Takes me till like 12 o'clock to wake up. Oh, I folded this. This is maybe bad, but they're 18 and they're first
Correct.
position.
Correct fold. Yeah.
Okay, good.
All good, buddy.
We're gonna fold that one.
Good.
Eight's
Okay.
gonna come in for a little cheeky raise. We get 3-bet. I said this guy was a decent-ish reg before, I think.
I'm all in. Lovely, Josh.
And so are they. Oh! Oh!
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, they're going to be bluffing and calling with overcards often enough that we can jam this.
Very nice. I think. Oh my god! I just closed the hand replay.
Oh my gosh, Josh, what have you done?
I accidentally closed the hand replay. It's alright. We'll get it back. Oh my god, what's going on here? Okay.
Technical difficulties, everybody.
Sorry, guys. I closed the hand replay. Well, it shouldn't take me too long to catch up. We're not actually done that many hands. Basic suited. Yeah. Yeah. We're almost there. Where is it?
That's the
There it
6-7
is.
suited. That's the 8s. Okay.
8s. Okay. And now we have a nice big stack. I'm just going to take off the masking player names functionality.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to put it back on now. We have a famous player on our table in this tournament.
I missed that. Who was it?
No, it's not. They're not there yet. They're not there yet.
Okay. Okay.
But it will be Lex Veldhouse. For fun.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
I played a few times with them, but I've changed from an orange tag to a green tag. So can anyone in chat tell me what that means? Because it's a different shade of green to what he uses for a reg. So I'm not sure.
Super reg.
I doubt it. Shit reg.
Sure.
Okay.
yeah, Lex. Yeah.
So I'm never folding here.
Good.
Very cool.
Okay. Yeah, checking.
Darker green Sambo. Checking, we get a nice turn. Where I think I want to bet.
Villain checking back. Yeah, let's get betting. We're gonna have so many what people call natural bluffs here. Like we've got a lot of straight draws and flush draws we can bluff here. So yeah, let's get value betting these 3 10s.
Sad.
Okay. I mean, it would just suck if it went check, check, check. So
see how many chips we have. 31,000. Okay. So that's 6 starting stacks at the moment.
Okay. So we might be getting close to the bubble.
We're getting there. Well, the blinds are 500 big blind. And on this particular site, it's a little bit off. I know that.
Okay.
Usually, should have raised this one. Big blind's got 7 big blinds though.
Yeah, it's just a fold. It's fine.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm being observant. All right. Oh, that's probably a raise though. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd raise that one. You do have rejam stacks behind you, so it's not the end of the world. But
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd raise that one.
A bit tight. Needs to look at some ranges some more. Raise this one there. And we're going to go heads up versus villain 22 on a king high board.
Very coordinated king high board.
Would you like to come out betting?
I'd like to check.
I do check.
Lovely.
Villain 22 bets third. Would you like to call?
I'd like to check raise.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have that in my arsenal for this hand. Okay, so why do we check raise?
We have our second best king that we can have in this spot. And they have King Jack, King 9 suited, 10 Jack, Queen Jack, Queen 10, maybe? Yeah, they probably check Queen 10. And they have 2 clubs. There's a lot of hands that can call our check raise that we are doing very well against. So yeah, let's check raise this one.
I like the thought process. We're not really losing too much, are we? The sets basically, and unlikely King 10 suited. Yeah. So
10-8 suited.
Yeah,
is in there sometimes. Whether it should be or it shouldn't be, it will be in there sometimes. At this,
check raise, yeah. RFT's right. Check raise does seem nice on reflection. We just call.
If you look turn cards, yeah.
Yeah, quite a few turn cards, and here's one of them.
Obviously we're doing badly against. Might not be in the game tree in GTO land, but I kind of like leading here.
Wow, you're full of surprises. I mean, I don't have a lead for this particular.
It's it's just people check back too much. He'll check hands that are supposed to bet here, and that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So don't let them.
No. Okay. So you check. They check back. So you're right. They check back a bunch of hands they're not supposed to, and it's an 8 on the river. I'm looking at this, and I think I would like to put out like a third pot sort of block. You might have different ideas because you're better than I am.
We have the nuts right now. Like
Right.
what checks back turn that we're losing to?
Good point.
Name one hand that checks back turn that we're losing to.
Ace Jack of
I can
clubs.
name checks back turn. Get out of here.
Some people are mad.
Some people are mad, but get out of here.
Okay.
If like we'll find out if we bet pot and he raises. Okay, you check back ace jack of clubs. You check back 10-8.
So you think we should bet pot here?
I think we should go for a big greedy bet because we have the best hand and they don't have a better. They have 10-8 of hearts.
Check the river.
They have 10-8 of hearts, and they have the occasional flush, but it's so fucking rare. They have so many. No, don't check the river.
I
Josh.
did. I
no.
checked it. Checks.
Bomb it. You've got the fucking nuts.
Same hand, but it's not the point. I just should have.
But he also checks king jack.
Mm-hmm.
And he yeah. And if that's his range, if his range is king queen and king jack, and 10-8 suited, bomb the river. It's not. His range is much more wide than that. But we can bomb that river and print.
Yeah, you're right, and I'm gonna remember that for next time in this spot because it's one that comes up fairly commonly. So thanks for that one. Play that way too passively in hindsight.
Right, so
every opportunity you're like, just bet.
Get some money in. Get some
big.
money in. Yeah, the turn leading turn there wouldn't be like in GTO land, but because people check back too much, I like a lead.
Yeah, fair. Okay, right. Cut off raises. We're in the big blind with ace deuce suited.
Mix.
I like a mix here also.
Yeah.
But I'll more often than not probably just make it look cool.
That's perfectly fine.
I think later on, and versus worse opponents as well, I'll have to start applying pressure on a bit. With these sorts of hands, the big card, small card combos.
Yeah.
Pretty bad flop. Well, it's a good flop for our range, right?
It is a good flop for our range.
It goes check check.
It goes check check. Okay, I was thinking of suggesting a check raise.
Yeah.
If they bet.
I was thinking of suggesting, is it ever okay to lead here?
No.
Okay. Cleared that one up.
The best boards to lead are lower than this with gaps. So a board like 3-5-7 is a lovely lead because you have 4-6 offsuit and they don't have 4-6 offsuit. You have 7-5 offsuit and they don't have 7-5 offsuit. You've got those gaps in the offsuit form and they don't, and they probably from the cutoff don't have the suited forms either. So you get a massive nut advantage if you count it 2 pair of plus as the nuts.
Okay.
Bigger boards are more like this middling size, like the 10 high, 10-9-6. They have plenty of like middling cards like 9-10, like 8-9 and stuff like that, which makes leading not palatable. You want the low board with gaps to lead.
Okay.
They do check back and the turns are 9. This is better for them than us as played.
Right.
Because people check back their second pairs a lot at mid stakes.
So it makes little sense for us to come up betting here.
Yeah, I'm too worried about the proportion of 9s in their range to come up betting.
Well, I do bet. I actually thought I was going to check here.
Yeah.
But you fold, luckily. But yeah. Okay. I was obviously planning to do some river nonsense on any river.
I mean, I wanted to get spicy on flop, so I don't hit the spice the spicy thoughts, as it were. It's just recreationals love checking their second pairs when
they do.
There should be a lot more betting with second pair in real life.
You're right. You got me thinking about it a bit more. That guy's call off ace 5 in the big blind. Wow.
How much for? Is that 10 bigs?
10 bigs, but yeah.
11 bigs? No.
Flick in.
Nine.
Well, we have the mask, so we can be brutal.
Mm.
Right, ace 10.
10.
Let's get through. 8's in the big blind, my favorite hands. 3 bet? Cool. Fold.
A mix, in all honesty. Yeah, fine.
Another call. It's a bad flop though, isn't it? Goes check,
Interesting flop.
and then a bad
They
turn.
this player checked the 10-6. This is the 10-6-9, didn't they? A moment
Yeah.
ago. And now they're checking the monotone board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So let's check again. I mean, it's board favouring them. Do I want to start betting this turn?
No. But wouldn't hate a check raise.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't hate it.
I get out of town.
Fold is fine. But like we've got all those flushes we want to check raise, right?
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of 2 pairs we want to check raise. I wouldn't have hated to check
Sure.
raise. It's probably overdoing it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's probably overdoing it.
It's probably printing, to be honest with you.
You think?
Yeah, maybe
I don't
versus
know.
opponent. I don't know.
Check raises are OP. They really are. People fold
Yeah.
to check raises far too much. So I'm actively looking for more check raise spots in my life.
Mate, at the WSOP, right? There's a recreation on my table. I check raised him, I think twice, or maybe 3 times. I do remember this quite clearly because every time I check raised, he folded, almost snap folded, and he turned over 1 card, and it was always middle pair. And it was so people just snap folded check raises all the time. He was like, "Yeah, folded a 7 for you there, buddy." That's like Jesus. So people do. You're right. People do like massively overfold them. That's just one thing that stuck in my head. People do massively overfold when I think most situations, if you're holding a pair and you get check raised by the big blind, you shouldn't really ever fold a pair very often anyway.
Yeah, you meant to hold on to your pairs pretty
For dear life.
pretty tightly.
Oh, got a hand.
Oh, we got a hand. We're out of position.
Oh, what a flop. Do you love to see it?
I love to see it.
But do you want me to bet? Because we unblock all the big stuff.
I do, but I think the solvers would like a check a lot of the time.
I do check.
You do check. Okay.
I would like to see a bet, to be honest, going back in time.
It's just...
They jam for 57 bigs. I couldn't believe it as well. I was like, what on earth is that?
I mean...
I forgot about this.
What is that, 8x pot? Okay.
Yeah, and they just jam. Like, okay, I'll check to them. Maybe do some check raising. I'm all in.
On a serious note, my issue with checking is that the big blind realizes their equity, and they can have a bunch of stuff revolving around that Jack 9, can't they?
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks if the button does check with similar hands that should bet. Checking to a high frequency is GTO here because of you're out of position with a bunch of hands that have missed. Like you've got all these suited kings that have missed, all these suited aces that have missed.
Yeah.
So yeah, check. On a serious note, a check is good, especially when they're going to bet 57 big blinds into 7.5. So what does the big blind do? Just curious.
I think they get out of the way.
Okay.
Once
in a while they put it in too.
I wonder if we plugged in this spot with Pyrosolver, right? And we gave it checks or all-ins, what hand it would take us to the shove. That's just an interesting thought. And would they take what this player shows up with? I called, by the way.
I'm glad. No misclicking. WeMind makes a good point. He says Jacks is like a pure check. Fours can probably mix because they are happier unblocking all the stuff. Yes, you unblock 10 Jack, for example.
I'm very much down with that point of view. Yeah. I think if you ever see me leading top set there, I think Ian should probably.
All right.
And it's the last hand of the tournament.
It's not.
It's not, is it? They have Ace Jack.
You troll.
What are you doing?
Ace Jack just fucking.
I remember this as well because it was kind of like soft bubble, like maybe 7 off the money or something.
Well, he's got to protect from that queen or that king coming on the turn, right? He doesn't want to get outdrawn. Best to just jam now, right?
It was so weird because they just went absolutely ham.
It happens, man. People just lose their minds now and then.
Yeah. I think it's because like I'm on the bubble. I want to cash, so I'm all in.
Oh, was this the bubble as well?
It was like soft bubble,
Yeah. Oh.
and then we're just gonna
So
take him out the tournament, hopefully. Yep. Bye bye.
so Matt, so the reason the jam is bad, in case it needs highlighting, is that it condenses your opponent's calling range too tight. So you jam 60 bigs, you win 7 bigs 90% of the time. But that 10% of the time, you are dust and losing 60 bigs to,
Yeah.
or having, yeah, losing
Your
60 bigs
opponent
to the sets and to the pocket
opponent's
aces,
not
pocket
calling
queens.
worse, like unless they're an
Yeah.
absolute the
Well,
worst player
King,
of all time.
I mean, what do you do with King Jack with a backdoor flush draw against
I,
that jam?
if I get
That's
shoved
what I
on and
get.
I've got King Jack there, I was like, oh, like
That's where it gets a little awkward because he's done something just so wacko
it doesn't put me
that
in a spot though. I'm just like, oh, whatever, mate, and just fold. Like I'm like, if you've got a worse hand, then what's wrong with you? And it's like, yeah, there's no point. Like if they're doing stuff like that, making mistakes like that, we can hold on to our 50 big blinds and we can capitalize on that later.
yeah, that makes a
Future
lot of
game is
sense.
there. I mean, why do we need to roll the dice that hard? Like we don't, do we? I mean, this is my argument.
I think King Jack's tricky, but because you don't know what range to put them on. So because they like you do see them rock up with the worst top pair sometimes there when they just lose their mind. So
Yeah,
anyway,
fair
anyway,
enough.
ooh, wait.
But this is a
What do you
fold,
mean
right?
what? What do you mean what? What are we on the bubble? Soft bubble?
I softish bubble, I think. Yeah, it's six-handed, isn't it? It's probably a raise, isn't it?
Extended?
Yeah, probably should be
Think
an
so.
open, right? I've got 100 big blinds as well. I have a lot of chips. I'm definitely chip leading the tournament at this point as well.
With 20 effect there, we're like, yeah, we've got there's a big mix of stacks behind us. Uh, 7 8 it's a mix in um GTO land.
Yeah, I rolled a fold.
You rolled a fold.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, you are better off with opening more ace X hands here than you are opening more suited connectors because you just want to you want immediate folds. So yeah,
yeah.
this is a good fold.
Look at these stack sizes
And,
behind as well. It's
yeah,
tricky.
yeah, it's too loose by me. In my head. I take it back. Good fold.
Well, you are a loosey goose,
I am a loosey goose.
but you do win lots of tournaments. Jack Deuce for cash for king. Yeah, but our race too small.
It might not be an exploit world, but I would go big. I'd go 3.5 if I'm gonna get spicy here. And you, yeah, with ICM to apply pressure with, I don't hate it at all.
I think my no my go-to size is like 2.8 if they are more on the shorter side. So I don't know why I picked this for this opponent.
Yeah, they're too deep for this sizing. I would go three and a
Small.
half if I was going to. Typically, though, these hands get limped. Blind be blind. Like I don't
Yeah.
hate it if they're overfolding, and you've got ICM pressure to apply. But typically these hands will be um these sort of offsuit picture nonsense hands like the Jack Deuce, the King Deuce, the Queen threes will be limped blind be blind. But I don't hate exploiting and raising and applying pressure.
Okay. Now we get to the flop with the hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to bet.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Don't know what else we're
Very
gonna
small.
do. Jack High. We got Jack High, bro. As Easty would say. We got Jack High.
Bro, I've got Jack high. I'm an adult. Of course I'm betting the flop. So we go quarter pot and they just fold, which is very nice and straightforward for us.
Lovely.
Jack five.
Good.
Take.
Lovely.
They're able to leverage a bit at the moment. Queen Jack is a 3-bet and
Fold.
just gonna fold.
You were asking. I thought.
No.
Ooh,
I just
jam.
that's the sort of situation where you go, oh jam. Long
No,
Ashes
nothing.
0427. Thank you
Suited.
for the follow.
Suited. Sure. Why not? Suited. Let's just pay off pocket kings. I wouldn't hate 4-bet jamming like Jack Queen suited.
Would you call 4.5 big blinds with King 5 suited?
Yes.
Me
Lovely.
too. What a flop.
What a flop.
And for them too.
Can you
Also, by the way, I
rewind?
remember this. We were like 4 off the money and they decided to shove 4 big blinds with 5 deuce.
Suited.
Yeah, but 4 off the money or something. They had 4 big blinds, but still.
Yeah, I'm looking in disbelief.
Yeah, it's
Like this is why like this is why ICM's like even trickier than it is, because the computer models for ICM aren't taking into account the the people breaking under pressure and just that guy set fire. There's so much equity there.
yeah.
Like four
It
big
is.
blinds on the bubble is worth a lot of money. Like you can squeak into the money that with that stack.
Yeah, you can.
So this is why if you've got 20 big blinds on the money bubble, look at how much equity that guy set fire, and that equity is going to everyone else. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
like you won the hand, everyone else in the tournament won money there.
Pretty mad.
Yeah, so being too tight on bubbles ain't a bad thing for that reason. In bigger field tournaments, in smaller field tournaments, it's less likely that those strange hands are occurring.
I agree with you. There he is.
There he is.
He was there for a bit. I was hoping it was going to be a final table because then that'd
A
be kind of
legend
fun.
that is. So villain 9 is Lex.
Yeah, villain 9 is Lex Feldhouse.
Okay.
Peace and Love also comes into the mix. Sits next to him as well. It's quite funny. So those two boys, you know him, streamer.
No, I don't think I do.
Peace and Love. He's a good daytime streamer.
Hmm. Are we in the money? Do you know?
We are, I believe, very few off the money at this point. Like very few.
Okay. It just
think,
the table balance changed. So we're what 800
yeah.
now.
So like Lex joined my table literally just on the pure bubble.
Right. Cool.
And then he was there for a bit. It's a bit after. All right, here's a fun one.
This is a fun one.
So they
Good
3x
flop.
free, and I call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And they go big size on the flop.
Very big size on the flop. Calling.
Calling.
Lovely.
Ooh, spicy
Ooh.
turn. What are you doing now?
Are they checked?
Versus a half pot.
So they bet 4/7 on flop, if I remember right. And now they're betting half pot. So they've changed the percentage they're betting.
Yeah.
Whenever I see that and the percentage goes down, it's usually like we were discussing earlier, hands that they don't really know what to do with. And it's usually not bladed. So I want to bluff at some point for that reason. Ignoring the hand I've got,
Okay.
I'm looking to bluff them off of a mid-strength hand here.
So Josh Raw says, "Are we sticking it in their eye?"
Either now or on river.
Ooh. Need to get a river because I don't know how I'm going to finish this hand. Okay.
Bluff. Yeah, like, oh my god, the bluff card.
Oh my god. Do I check back 8 high here? I'm really scared about checking back 8 high.
Don't check back 8 high.
Get
in there, boy. Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Are you proud of being?
I'm proud. I'm very proud. Look at this. Look at this. He does fold, right? Because otherwise we're going to.
He does fold.
But yeah, that's kind of like an online sizing tell when they bet. They bet smaller on the turn as a percentage. It's usually someone who's lost in the hand and doesn't know what to do with their hand. And people know what to do with sets and 2-pair. At least they think they do.
Tanked for ages.
They did?
Yeah, and when I see a tank, I'm like, oh, they always cool when they tank. It was like, he was 60-second time bank down to like 11 seconds, and I was like, oh, it's going to be the side river cool, isn't it? And it's going to be like a nit roll as well, with like 10-5 suited or something.
JSHRW says, are there any cards we're not blasting there on the river? Say both draws miss and the river's like the offsuit king, like the king of hearts. Because of their sizings, I was planning to bluff everything because of the way they size the turn. If they size differently, the river comes a king and they check. It's a lot more awkward because we have so many missed hands like this that it might get sniffed out if they'd taken a reasonable line. But because of the sizings they did, I was bluffing everything. If they had used good sizings, I wouldn't be bluffing everything.
I don't think I would have necessarily have gone with this particular line if it hadn't have been on a money bubble, and this shove is
Yeah.
definitely something to do with the money bubble.
Yeah.
Being literally 2 or 3 places away at the time, I remember.
Oh, very well played hand, Josh. I
Very
like it a
much coming
lot.
into my thought process. People just want to cash at the end of the day.
People just want to cash. Yeah, they want to like bust their tournament, go downstairs, see their significant other, and say, "Oh, I did cash. I did cash."
Yeah,
Because that's a bit more comfortable. Like if you're like in a couple and you're like spending time away from your partner to do something by yourself.
yeah.
Like sometimes there could be like a bit of strife. Oh, you've wasted money gambling again. They want to avoid that. That's definitely a thing.
I'm so happy I don't have that in my home. Brit just
Yeah,
says, "Did you have a good day?" I was like, "No." She's like, "All right,
yeah,
never mind."
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, it's so important to have supportive, understanding partners when you're a poker
Yeah,
player.
100%. Right, Ace King gets called. Vaguely remember this hand. Same opponent as the 8-6 suited hand. They check. Would you like to go for a check here? Or bet, sorry. Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert. I accidentally clicked. But yes, 3-bet.
I'm not going small. If I'm the times I bet and I'll mix here, I'll go big. I'll go 3/4.
3/4. I go 1/3. Basically, 1/3 is my default sizing when
Yeah.
I don't know what the sizing should be, and and basically I bet 1/3 almost everything because of that reason. Because I don't really get it.
Well, I mean, this board's just so coordinated. When we do bet, we should bet big.
Okay. Well, it's cool, and it's an interesting turn card.
And we're still on the bubble, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. We're trying to bluff off 9x and 8x.
I check back. This is so
and
bad.
10x.
This is poor.
I'm setting up a triple barrel bluff now.
I okay, because I check back and it's really poor. I'm sorry. And they's bet the river. Let's fold. I'm like,
Damn, dude.
what?
That King of Hearts is a horrible card to fold.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god. I
I'm
feel
seeing
a
this
little
now.
bit ill.
Should have cannoned it.
Excuse me. Turn, yeah.
Should have been the absolute cannon there. When you
Yeah,
check the turn, you
JSH.
remove so much ability to draw the river. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
His name is Josh Raw, by the way. He removed the vowels from his name a while ago.
Oh, you see, I would have. If he was a long-term viewer of mine, I'd have been calling him JSH for years. I would never have realized that. Someone would have had to tell me. Josh, right? That's obvious now that you say it.
What'd you do here? I was supposed to cut him, actually. I thought it was supposed to button.
3-bet.
Oh, what? Okay, that's an error. Cataclysmic error. Okay, we had these similar issues before. Okay, I made some glaringly bad folds in some places. Pretty bad.
Yeah. Call a 3-bet.
It must have been timed out. Let's just skip this.
We'll say that's what it was.
Yeah. Fred calls you J Shrew.
Hey, true. That's pretty cool.
I go for this race.
Yeah, good. It's chip EV would not be okay, but with ICM pressure to apply, it's lovely, lovely. Good stuff.
I believe the money might have gone. Is Lex still in? He is. So yeah, the money may have gone. Hold the 2-4, hold the King Deuce. You get a little bit card dead at this point, I vaguely remember. We'll see. Although folding hands like Ace-7 is a bit dire. Should I be calling button here?
No, let's three. We're still on the money bubble. Let's 3-bet that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I do that very often either.
Who the fuck does Villain 12 think he is? We have the chip lead. We're on the money bubble. He doesn't get to play cards. He gets to fold.
I'm probably not doing a very good job of being chip leader, to be fair. Alright, here's a fun one. Probably.
Bloof.
Probably just gonna check it down. Know me.
Good sizing.
Bet. Calls. Turn. Check. Now what?
I want to set up a geometric bet sizing. So I want to bet the same percentage now as I do on the river, and I want that river bet to be for all my opponent's chips. So you bet
First,
6, that'll put 21 in the middle. They will have 17 back.
close to being
Close
good.
enough. Close enough. Yeah.
God, this is nice. Yeah, I don't. Do you have any kind of tool that you use while you're playing that tells you what your geometric bet sizing should be? Because I just basically go for a very sort of. I think I need to bet like 4 big blinds here because that sets them up for 20 big blinds in the river and there's 20 big blinds in the pot. But I do it very quickly and on the fly, and it's often wrong.
Well, bear in mind, geometric sizing isn't setting up a pot-sized river jam. That's what people used to do, and some people still do. You're not setting up for a pot-sized river jam. You're setting up for a equal percentage sized river jam.
So if I bet 70% turn, I want to be able to put them all in for 70% on the river.
That's exactly that's what geometric's aiming for.
Okay.
The I got shown a mathematical equation for working it out, and it's fucking the one I saw anyway. I just eyeball it like you do. Like, this is close enough. It's fine.
Bet sizing is wrong here. Big blinds only got 11 bigs.
To be fair, that's not necessarily a bad thing because you stop them peeling.
I suppose so.
So it's particularly good when they're like 5 big blinds and less, because you take away their stop and goes, because they can just call 5-4, 5-3 suited, and then jam flops, and that's awkward for you. If you go 1.3x pre, sorry, you go 2.3x pre, you take that move away, you stop them realizing a bunch of equity.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. I was just pointing out that this villain 3 is Peace and Love as well, the streamer.
Okay.
So him and Alexis villain 9. I think I fold to Lex here with 7 deuce. Are you gonna be upset?
No, I'm not upset. Lex is a good player. With a precarious stack on a bubble, he'll have a strong range here. So I don't mind folding the 7 deuce suited at all. Don't usually fold much suited stuff in the big blind at all. Make an exception here.
I think bubble might have gone at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it would have done. We should move table as well. Hang on, let's check if we got the same players on our table. Okay, no, we didn't. Thought we did. Just lost players. Okay. Ace 5 suited. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember this. This is a misclick. See, I've made it 3 big blinds to 2. I've just gone to raise, and I've just clicked.
You know what? It happens to all of us, so it's kind of fun to analyze these things, because we go outside of the game tree, and we have to figure out what the fuck to do. Because this happens to everyone. It happens to me all the fucking time. So, yeah, now, okay, now what?
I actually think I completely butchered this hand because of it.
So what does their range look like? You would imagine they would 4-bet the bladed stuff, but they'll still have
I'm going to tell you now, this hand is completely butchered and blundered.
Okay,
all over the place to the very end.
They can still have ace queen, ace jack, like that. They don't fold. They obviously don't fold anything. It's just they 4-bet some stuff. That's what has changed about their range.
Yeah, this is. I remember this hand. It's completely.
Yeah, I think I lean towards the check here.
Yeah, I do go for the check. I check back because I look at this hand and I'm like, okay, well, is this a 3 street hand? And I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
So then we need to make it 2 or maybe 1. On this turn card, that's sort of alright. But they go kind of big.
Yeah, let's call.
And then I have a feeling I folded here by almost by mistake. Like something was going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So I tell you, it was butchered. Like that's. I think some error was made there. Either a misclick or a timed out or something happened. Because I remember this hand and I was like, "What the hell's happened?"
Yeah, it's the same. I've made this exact same error because we're streaming. And something. We weren't streaming.
No, but I've been having
no excuse then.
I've been having plasterers over to give estimates on my living room wall. So
right.
Might have come into it somewhere, and that might have been the misclick, and I might have been playing on my phone. I can't remember.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens to all of us.
Yeah, but yeah, I told you I butchered the hand.
Yeah. But you didn't butcher it from like an intellectual sort of way. You butchered
Yeah.
it because the plasterer asked you a question, or the you know
Yeah.
some other shit happened. The Wi-Fi went out or something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I just remember
can't
that.
feel too bad about that one.
And that, yeah. You can just tell from the start of the hand it was a car crash. Ace Deuce off on the button, I recently learned is just meant to fold a bunch, and I didn't know that. And then I read it, and now I fold it all the time.
In cash for sure. In tournaments, um, it's very rare you fold it. You have to be really deep.
Oh, well.
In fact, it's a bit of an. I'm looking at the range here now. It's a bit of a strange one. At 80 big blinds, it gets folded 95% of the time. At 100 big blinds, it gets V-pipped 100% of the time. At
What?
60, and at 60, it gets V-pipped 100% of the time.
Mistake there as well. Okay.
Bit of a
It's a
bit of a quirky one.
ranges is something to look at. I've made a few mistakes in the last few hands. So yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a thing to work on. Like in cash games, this gets folded. So I wonder if that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Josh Raw says if you have good knowledge, a player has an edge in the case Lex does. We can nicely fold a lot of big blinds knowing that we'll get well pummeled post flop. Is that a good?
How often are we scared of flush draws when players check flops like this? Sorry, Josh, which flop?
Oh, he means the ace five. I have to go scroll back.
Oh.
This one.
When they check out of position, they should. I mean, people. This is a strange one because Josh misclicked.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a really difficult one to analyze because we're outside of a normal game tree. Let's pretend Josh flat called, because that's closer. They should check flushes. They should check this board quite a lot out of position. So they should have, if they're balanced, they'll have a bunch of flush draws. By and large, though, people get scared of flush draws too much. Flushes make up even when the board comes another diamond, flushes only make up a small percentage of people's ranges. Like let's take an example. Let's say ace 8 suited. There are 4 combos of ace 8 suited, 3 of which aren't diamonds. And there are 12 combos of ace 8 offsuit, none of which are 2 diamonds. So that kind of gives you a feeling of how rare flushes are, even when there are 3 diamonds on board. But people do get overly scared of them. And don't be sorry for the questions, dude. The more questions, the better.
More questions, the better.
Yeah, like me and Josh's streamers, we absolutely love questions in our chat because it's good interaction for us, and it's great for you guys to be able to ask streamers questions to pick their brain. That's one of the reasons people watch streamers.
I just get why are you so bad. Right, we open up ace jack off here. And villain 9 Lex Wildhouse is 0.86 big blind at this point. So we're going for some.
Do we get to knock out Lex
for a hype knockout here?
Do we get to knock out Lex?
Absolute luck box, mate.
Oh my god, he got us. Damn.
We did not get it. Oh, this is a pure open. Yeah, pure open. I know. What's going on here?
Did the plaster ask you another question?
No, this is just no excuse here.
That's okay. You know.
Yeah.
You know to open.
Horrible fold. And yeah, we're top pair and everything. I think this tournament might go downhill for me. Is this a defend? I don't even know. It's like
yes, it's a defend.
Yeah, mate, I'm just all over the place now, aren't I? All of a sudden, I went from playing all right to like making some terrible pre-flop folds. Folding here. Sometimes I mix 3 bets here. Big blind is very short though. Get out of the way.
Fold is good. I don't hate mixing a 3-bet in there at all. But yeah, fold is.
I don't know why I fold hands like Queen 10 suited because I know they're opens, right? I just know they are. And
yeah.
Sometimes I don't realize I fold them, and it's really weird. I am a sucker for the. Yeah, I'm a sucker for the auto fold buttons and.
Yeah, you got to keep your clicker away from the auto buttons.
Yeah, because sometimes I find myself like I'm in the small blind, I've got King 8 off, and I'll click auto fold. I'm like, wait, whoa. Like, what if it folds to me? Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, a habit to break for sure. I've been guilty of it as well, hitting the auto, because I have an itchy trigger finger. It just wants to be clicking all the time.
All right, I might fold this one. What? This is interesting because they've got 5.5 big blinds. They've raised
It
off
is
38.
interesting. It is interesting. Um,
Just calling is suspect.
3 betting looks bladed.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Uh,
Do you not think jamming looks weakest
the weakest.
almost? Yeah.
Yes, I do. That's not a bad.
I've got ace 10 suited or ace jack off. I mean, going all in feels
Like a
like,
thing you could do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I do that. I don't know. I felt that was probably the weakest move to make.
I don't hate it at all. You've got a good reason to do it. Honestly, it's kind of an awkward spot to be in.
Yeah.
Out of position facing a little 3-bet jam. Oh, we won on that board. Lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Maybe open this one.
And kings and queens are better to jam than aces because aces you are a lot more secure in the hand. Kings and queens are like that bit more vulnerable. So aces would be a better slow play candidate, obviously.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Do I want to open this hand?
No, Josh.
It's
I mean,
a
you
suited
do.
hand.
You obviously want to, but
I
you
just, I
shouldn't.
just, I just, I fold a queen 10 suited. And I'm like, well, maybe I should open 7 deuce suited on the button.
No,
Ace 3 off, going for a cheeky race here.
touch loose, but that's fine.
Ace 3 suited, going for a little race here.
Oh dear.
Do you like a defend 5-handed?
Yes, love it.
Oh my god! Yeah,
It
terrible.
hurts. It hurts.
That does hurt actually a bit. Probably fold this one.
um,
40 effective versus big blind. 22 just under versus razor.
5-handed. Yeah, I'm just gonna 3-bet.
3-bet.
I think.
So like 7 bigs.
Yeah, sounds
Seven
good.
and a half.
Six and
7
a half.
bigs.
6.5, 7 bigs. Yeah, lovely. I would fold to the big blind if they jammed, and we're calling off villain 2.
This is peace
Let's
and love, by the
go.
way.
This is peace and love. It's a good flop.
Nines, we outflopped him. Very nice.
GG.
Seb.
Lovely.
And now this is final 2 tables, I think, I want to say.
Final 2, okay.
Yeah. Can we fold here?
God, no. I don't fold ace deuce suited.
Okay. Mate, we're butchering this now. I think I do butcher this tournament a bit towards the end as well. We'll see.
That's what we're here for, to just refine those few little mistakes, dude.
So this is not a fold, okay.
No.
And no suited ace folding.
You've been studying cash game ranges. Is that what's going on?
No. Studying knit ranges. Team
Knit
knit.
ranges.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a position you fold ace 7 suited for any stack size under the gun.
What's the lowest king X you'd open under the gun? King X suited, he means. King 10?
Under the gun 8-handed? King 8 suited, I think I would.
My goodness.
Depends on the stack size, and it depends on the players behind. Just looking at a range viewer now, King 6 suited is a mix of 30 bigs, and 40 bigs, and 50 bigs, and 60 bigs. King 6 suited is a mix under the gun. Curiously, King 6 gets mixed in and King 7 doesn't.
Are you opening King 9 in the hijack here, offsuit?
This is razor close. I probably would because there's a bit of there's still ICM. We're in the money, but there's some ICM pressure to apply. Just a little bit. Just a little
up
bit.
On the FT, so
yeah,
I fold because I've taken the nitty approach apparently. But I'm just keep getting Delta Ace King. So
like in tournaments, there is always ICM until your heads up. It just fluctuates. The ICM pressure has dipped lower now that we're in the money, but it hasn't disappeared.
Okay.
So yeah, I could get on board with opening the King 9.
Ooh, sad.
Damn.
Make a flush. Fold here. Gonna fold here. Gonna fold here. Might? No, I folded here as well. It's bad as well. Cut off.
No, good fold, good fold.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Mate, I don't know what I'm
Suited,
doing.
open it. Offsuit, no.
I'm just questioning myself now. I started off pretty
Yeah,
confident because I
yeah,
pulled us some pretty gangster like bluffs, and
yeah.
now it's just like, oh, your fundamentals are just wrong.
Yeah, Josh says King 6 is a weird hand. Yeah, I wonder why. It'll be to do with your opponent's continuing ranges. Maybe they don't continue with like 6 X's and the 6 is live or some goddamn thing. Cash for Queen?
Hello,
Who's
Cash for
Cash
Queen.
for Queen?
Cash for Queen is Cash for King's wife, girlfriend, not wife.
Honestly, oh, that's fantastic.
It is.
They're the king and the queen. That's
They're the king and
lovely.
the queen,
Hello,
yeah.
Cash for Queen. That's fantastic. That's a pair of lovely aliases right there.
It is great. How you doing? So we raised early position Ace 4. We get peeled by the small blind. We make bottom pair on its monotone board.
So,
Wife, sorry.
what?
Wait, what? Is it your wife or your girlfriend? I can't remember. I'm so sorry.
I mean, the king and queen. That's a betrothal thing, right?
I don't know. I feel bad now. I should know this.
Anyway, the flop. Small blind is defended, not the big blind. So it's a significant difference in ranges. They'll have a bunch of suited stuff, 3/4 of which is turned to dust, by the way. But they will have a stronger range in general. That'll contain some Jack X and some Queen X, like King Queens, Jack Tens, stuff like that.
So do we want that?
Yeah, I don't know. Not gonna lie.
I actually
not entirely sure.
I'm very uncomfortable with betting here because it's a bluff. If we do, they're
That's
not folding
not
any diamond. They're not folding.
It's like it's an equity denial thing. So if they fold like 8, 9 of hearts, that's a good thing.
I suppose I do bet. I do go for a bet, and they fold. So that's fine, I suppose. So we don't. You wanted to bet, so
yeah. Our betting frequency has to be lower against the small blind than the big blind. That exact hand, yeah, I think I can get on board with the small bet.
Okay. No, I'm his girlfriend. Just making jokes. She's his wife. Yes, apologies.
That was a big jam. Go back.
What is this? 10 deuce hand, yeah.
20, Open rips 30.
29. Cools off.
Oh wait, sorry. No. I sorry, I misread the action. It was a 3-bet jam for 30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I misread the action. I thought it was an open jam.
So say chill out.
Yeah, I was flabbergasted at the 30 big blinds open jam.
Are you looking at 3-betting bluffing these hands very often?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Like when I'm covering and we're just a feel for final table. Would you like to take that line? Yeah.
Yeah. I could get on board with
I shied away. But yeah,
okay.
It's like a fun spot. Because we're going to be leaning a lot, don't we? Like, just constantly leaning when we can.
I mean, maybe not constantly, but yeah, you can mix in some offsuit wheel aces for your 3-bet bluffs in a bunch of spots.
Get 3-bet by Villain 15 here.
Villain 15. Legend of the game.
They went for a big sizing for a 3-bet, so
they have gone for a big sizing. Like you should. I mean, I'm folding to a normal sizing anyway with this hand.
Good.
Actually, I think I fold to 3-bet a little too often. I think this is actually close to a call.
Just a call. I'd use this hand as a bluff. I think if I was going to continue like a 4-bet jack.
I think in GTO land we're cut off. Sorry, let me just double check my range viewer. What are we? Yeah, King Jack off does get called to a normal sized 3-bet here.
Can we adjust given
in chip EV land?
Yeah.
In reality, people don't 3-bet enough, and this guy's 3-bet bigger, so we have to continue less often. So fold. Yeah. But I fold a little too often I fold the offsuit hands a little too often in that spot myself. It might not be a bad thing because people don't 3-bet enough.
What did ace deuce suited on the button here? Sorry, the small blind here when we are probably like 10 or 11 left in the tournament. Versus a
5-handed.
60 big blind open, 5-handed, yeah.
I
Getting
quite
very
like
nitty.
I quite like a jam.
Quite like a jam.
Yeah, we've got a good chunk of equity when called. Big scope to make better hands fold, like any ace X that isn't calling, like ace 8, ace 9 offsuit, ace 8 offsuit.
Tell you what.
The Broadway hands can fold.
Are you noticing a trend in my game a bit that I get a bit too nitty when we get deeper in tournaments?
I mean, ICM should tighten you up.
But I have a good stack. Like, I should be leveraging this, if anything, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've got, you can't be busted and you can bust everyone else. So you've got ICM pressure to apply, for sure. And we're getting on the FT bubble. So it's another reason to want to apply leverage. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been on stream, jammed this hand, ran into ace king, and felt like a boob.
Yeah.
But you've got to embrace feeling like a boob. You can't. Yeah, you have to be okay looking.
I feel like that all the time. Dave, did you win the tournament last night? You're up till 4 a.m. and you won $700.
How did you do?
What was he in? What was he in? I wasn't around.
The
last
Micro
night.
Millions. It was just at. I had a tricky night last night, so I couldn't tune in. How did you do, Dave?
He went
What
Micro
happened?
Millions all the way his way to victory.
Did you win?
Did he? I don't know. He won a lot of money. Finished third. Was it Hold'em or is it a special crazy game?
It must have been Hold'em because it was a big field.
Well done, Dave.
Dave, third in the Micro Millions. That's great, man. Very well done. Very well done.
That's pretty sweet.
$700.
620, nice.
Good work, Dave. If you don't already follow Dave,
make sure you do. Exclamation mark, the newest Dave.
give him a follow. Give him a follow. He's a fantastic streamer. I love watching Dave streams.
Very good. Uh-oh. I think you have a bad hand here coming in.
We can 3-bet this.
We can.
It's awkward. It's a little awkward. It's very awkward, actually. No, call. I think I do call. This stack depth is very kind of awkward.
Okay, so we do call. Check. They check back.
Fold. Okay.
7 of diamonds on the turn.
I'm contesting to a c-bet here, by the way, when they do bet. Like, with over, like...
Oh, yeah, cool, c-bet, yeah. With backdoor equity.
Calling or check raising.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not folding at that point, usually, unless they go, like, massive.
Then you got trapped in a bounty builder 220 FT bubbled it for $60. Congratulations on that one.
Congratulations. So this turn card, I decided to stop blasting.
It's you know what? It's good. This is great. We were just talking about leads on gapped boards like 20-30 minutes ago. Like, you have 4-6. Maybe you don't have 4-6. You should have 4-6 offsuit in your range here.
Yeah.
You've certainly got 4-6 suited in your range. You've got 7-5 offsuit and suited in your range.
I got pocket 3s, pocket 5s.
And they don't. And they don't have the suited gappers in their range either. You've got 7-5 suited, they don't. You've got all the sets. They don't. They'll have pocket jacks. They'll slow play that. But because you've got all those gappers in your range, you've got a nut advantage here. So yeah, I definitely like starting to attack here. And I'm definitely giving them the business on river too.
Okay, I'm glad you like that. They do cool.
Okay.
They go to a river, it's another jack. Stack sizes are kind of awkward.
Really annoyed at that river.
Stack sizes are kind of annoying. If we want to bluff here, what is our sizing?
All of it.
Really? I'm so sad you say that, to be honest with you. What do you think I do?
Well, I'm just thinking about what I do, if I'm honest, because that river is so sad.
Don't forget where we are in the tournament. It's like 11 left or 12 left or something like that.
He's not going to fold ace 7. He's not going to fold pocket 8. He's probably not folding 6s.
What about ace high?
He's folding ace high. I think we should jam.
Oh, okay. I don't jam. I go for a sizing. I think
You
to
do
get
as long as you bluff. Like, yeah.
half pot. I go for sizing. I think my opponent will find a
Maybe that's
fold.
better than jamming because we're not targeting pairs, are we? We're targeting ace highs.
It looks value heavy, right? It looks like I'm trying to get paid. I've got if I have Jack 10 or something here, I think I'm not jamming. Or should I be? I don't think I am.
He's not folding eights. I kind of want to jam my jacks.
If I have ace 7, I might even play the hand the same way.
Man, a jam with ace 7 is spicy. I'd love to jam ace 7 here.
You jam ace 7.
Do I jam ace 7? Ooh. Against a good player, I probably would.
So, I don't know
Do
how
I
you feel
jam
about the
ace 7 here?
sizing, but at the end of the hand, I
Ace
felt
7
silly.
Yeah. You are. It's a good bluff. I don't know. I'm debating about the sizings myself in my head, so I'm certainly not going to criticize you for your sizing when I'm not sure myself. So I don't have any criticisms on this hand at all, dude.
Maybe
So
I
don't-
should have gone for it all. But the problem is, they did tank for a while, and they wound up calling, and they had ace 10
Did have ace high. That's why I kind of was leaned towards the jam to
fold those.
fold those and balance that with all the jack X, and
Sambo.
go back to the hand. Go back to the hand. Sorry, this is an awkward one.
Do you want to go from the turn bet?
No, I like
Before the turn bet?
Turn's great. Go to the river. The river's the really fucking tricky part.
Before the bet.
Because
Let's
we have a lot of 4x and 6x. How much 4x and 6x do we have actually that isn't paired up? I guess we have like 10 4 suited.
It was 6-8 and stuff like that, wasn't I?
Yeah. I'm just thinking, are we over bluffing by putting this one in as well? And is that okay? We have to jam. It's just on this exact river, like our value jams like 7-5 aren't value jams anymore. They fucking shrivel up to dust. That's why this river is so fucking awkward. I still want to do some bluffing. I'm just thinking, are we bluffing too often if we bluff this one as well? Because 10-4 suited, it's going in their eye.
I could have played this hand better starting on the turn though, right? Because you said my turn sizing was good, but what if I overbet turn, and then we line ourselves up for a more reasonable shove on the river? Then
no, I think. Go to the turn just for doing the maths on that.
So we bet 4.39 into 5.55. So we go pretty big.
His turn call is dust, by the way.
Is it?
Just putting that out there. Did he have the ace of clubs?
Yes, I believe so.
Or did he have the 10 of clubs?
We can turn his hand up now, I think. This one, yeah, 10 of clubs, 10 of clubs.
Yeah, his turn call is atrocious.
You think so?
Absolutely atrocious. Yeah, like because you're in the big blind and that gapped board, you just have so much stuff that's good.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you'll have bluffs. Like you will have 10-4 suited. You will have 6-8. You will have 8-9. You will have a bunch of bluffs. But that doesn't mean he gets to call with fucking everything.
Yeah.
He has to call his pocket eights, his pocket nines, his ace 7, his ace 5. He's at a big nut disadvantage here. So lolling around with ace 10 is just no. Just no. You could bet pot here and then you could bet like 1.1x pot and then 1.1x pot river if you wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sambo, by the way, in chat has said,
if I'm bluffing river here, I'm jamming.
So
and I do the same with like 10-4s with my jack X's.
If you look in the chat, Sambo's asked, why would you want to jam ace 7 on this run out? And I'm guessing it's for the same reason like you just said. If you're bluffing here, you're jamming.
I was in great debate about ace 7. I hadn't made up my mind if I'm honest.
It's gonna be spicy, but I actually quite like it.
Yeah, me too.
I think if we're jamming a lot of our own jack X here,
it's just we can't have too weak of a range. Like
All the bluff catchers
if
call us.
yeah, like we want to be jamming some strong hands as well, like our Jack X. But if Jack X is our only strong hand, we might be too polarized, which
Yeah.
turns ace 10 into a good call. Um,
Do we get value owned a lot of the time? We jam a7 by pocket 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s, or over pairs as well.
yeah, that's obviously a big problem.
Yeah. But they don't go check on the flop very often.
No,
Pocket 8,
sometimes
maybe.
with ICM, there's more checking.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know
I'd
how
love,
good this player was
I'd
or
love
not.
someone to run a, I'd love someone to run a solve on this and see if this hand gets bluffed as well in the way we did. It's just we might be overdoing it with this exact hand. That might not be bad though.
Interesting. I could run a solve in it, or I could get someone to run a solve in it.
Yeah, that'd be cool if you
Yeah.
could do that.
Maybe I will.
I should probably be a professional and get PO solver myself, and do that.
I can just copy this and
Yeah, I'm curious. We might be overdoing it with the bluffing here. It doesn't have showdown though. This hand,
no,
like
so
against the flop check, this hand doesn't have any showdown. So I kind of like turning it into a bluff.
yeah, okay.
If I'm doing it though, I'm probably jamming river. I like your idea, Josh, of sizing up turn as well. So I don't hate this hand. You were worried that I hated this hand. I don't hate this hand at all. Okay. I just think I would go bigger on river.
I kind of have to end the stream soon. How about we go down to the final table and then we stop there? Are you okay with
Sounds
that?
good. Yeah, that's great. I mean, we've done 2 hours, so it's going to be a
Yeah.
long YouTube video.
Would you like to come back as well though sometime and we do a final table only review? Because I think we stopped the final table.
Yeah, last time we got to the
do
final table.
I would love to do a
Let's
final
do
table
that.
only review.
And if if your friend runs that PO solve, we could start off with that. That looks like we could even edit it into this video if you're very clever.
I could probably do that if I should probably not fold to one big blind here, but I think I was quite conscious that I wanted to make the final table.
Check a raise.
Oh my god, mate! Look, okay, maybe we should send the stream right there.
Backdoor flush draw. This is an exploit check raise, but people fold the check raises too much.
Yeah.
It might not even be an exploit check raise. 3 flush, 3 straight overcard, check raise. I mean, you have all the deuces. They don't have any deuces. We have all the suited deuces.
Okay, exploits. I could jam here, but I decided to go for just a call. It's obviously quite heavy ICM in this.
You could jam that hand.
Yeah.
I would jam the king queen there.
Pretty cool flop though.
Pretty cool flop. We check. They bet half.
Yeah, half pot always says to me that my opponent likes their hand, but I'm obviously never folding.
Check raise.
You check raise this as well.
Why not?
Well, I guess a lot of stuff calls us, such as drawing and things like that, but we do block like some draws. Yeah, I don't know. No hearts is an interesting thing, but check raise.
Check raise, yeah.
What are we afraid of to check raise, or we're just trying to get value?
You're trying to get value.
I always see check raising as a protecting line.
Yeah, they have king jack. They have queen 9. They have queen jack. They have queen 8. They have queen. They're on the button. They have queen 7 suited.
They have check raise Simpson. Yeah. Sorry.
They have queen. What suited queens? They have loads of suited queens. Let's check raise for value. It goes wrong. It goes wrong. We can't be afraid of it going wrong. We check raise and they have a 10, and it sucks. It's fine. But we also check raise and they have king jack. They have 5, 6 of hearts. They have a 7 of hearts. They have queen 8 suited.
I didn't realize how bad I played at the tail end of this tournament.
Check raise and go for all. I
didn't value river either.
Although actually, I would be check raising and planning on going for all 3 streets. But in reality, I would check raise and vomit on this turn and not know what to do.
I didn't even value river.
You didn't know. Joshua, no, don't check this river. He has a jack. Don't let him check the river. Don't check jack when he checks that turn.
Mate, I told you.
It's the only hand he has. It's the only hand he has when he checks that turn. And look, he had jack 8 offsuit. He has queen 8 offsuit. He has queen deuce suited probably.
Wheezy asks a question. Let's just ignore the fact that I made a terrible check here. Wheezy asks a question. So would you check, raise, and call a shove on the flop here?
That's a very thin part of the game tree. Flop 3 bets should be pretty darn rare. They are pretty darn rare. Would I check? Yeah, I'd call off. Yeah,
Fair enough.
and look like a fool when I run into a 10. But they'll have enough flush draws when they do that. Hopefully, that it's fine.
Open fold here, just because we're getting beaten up quite heavily now. We're probably hand to hand.
FT bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah, this hand's pretty.
garbage.
Bleh. I don't. Yeah, I don't hate the fold. Without ICM, it's not a fold.
I just want to get to the final table now. I probably fold here as well because of the same reason. Is that awful?
Uh, I'm defending this. Yeah,
Okay, I
I wouldn't say
folded.
it's awful. I wouldn't say it's awful though,
Yeah,
because
it's just
there's
like
been a spike in ICM pressure. If you were to plot a graph of ICM pressure throughout a tournament, when you get to final table bubble, there's like a spike because of that pay jump.
got quite an awkward stack for this particular
Yeah,
period.
I feel you. So
Maybe I overly adjust
yeah.
though. Sorry.
Tighter folds are better than loose calls in terms of scope of mistakes.
Yeah, I see.
So
See, like, I'm just getting messed with here. Like, it's
that's
horrible,
okay. That's fine.
horrible to get messed with, but we've got to fold.
Yeah, it's still an open. If you don't
Folding,
open, yeah. If you
folding
don't
here
have
now.
raised folds, then you can't get called off. You can't make money with your value.
Thanks for following,
Yeah,
Wheezy.
folding here because of ICN pressure.
Yeah, agree. 2/8, not folding. Get 3-bet. So is it sayonara?
It's time to go in. It's time to put it in.
Yeah, big pressure on me.
And that's why you raise fold A7 because you get to you picked up like how many big blinds did you pick up there?
6 add plus blinds. So yeah, nice.
Yeah, lovely, absolutely lovely. And they probably had 50% equity, or they might have had whatever. If they had one of the card. Not folding isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. So first position raises, and then small blind calls.
Ooh, small blind calls.
Do you just jam? Can you just jam? Is that bad?
You can. It's not bad. It's an option. You should be jamming a bunch of stuff for 30 big blinds.
What would you 3-bet fold here?
I could find 3-bet folds for sure.
Plenty of
Yeah.
a suited wheel ace, or just an offsuit wheel ace, maybe.
Yeah, stuff. Like you could jam a suited wheel ace here. So yeah, an offsuit wheel ace would be a fun 3-bet bluff hand.
How about?
So there's plenty of candidates for a 3-bet bluff here. I'm just debating
Ace-9.
Yeah, that could be a 3-bet bluff. It could also be. I wonder if that can be jammed. Squeezing's hard, man. Maybe.
Close. I would reckon that would be close. Yeah.
Suited Ace-9, I would just jam.
That's 1 pit.
You've gone for the farm.
Yeah, I should have gone for the 3-bet.
You know what? It's not necessarily a bad thing because like you are going to want to jam pocket eights here. You are going to want to jam Ace Jack here.
Yeah.
So having a big chunky strong hand like this in that range means that those hands are kind of protected somewhat.
It's a awkward stack size.
People can call you off with like Ace Jack, or they can call you off with pocket eights or something like that. So yeah, don't hate the jam 1 bit.
Oh, good. Ace Jack. Oh, I can't remember. I don't think I called. I think I actually folded here. I think I fold. And I know it's never a fold, but
maybe it is a fold. Actually, I'm getting very excited. I'm getting very excited in an ICME sort of spot. I don't fold. I call this.
I mean, hang on. Let me just find excuses to fold here before I find out. I don't think I call here. I don't think I call. So let's have a look at the HUD stats quickly. You can't see this on the stream.
That's 16.
Hang on. Let's get the right stats going on here. There we go. I mean,
you've only got 93 hands, so you don't have a sample size because this is a pretty rare spot.
This is very explosive or whatever, but I just know. I know. Maybe but I just know people don't just shove 30 bigs. Right?
They do.
Like wildly one off the final table.
They do. They lose their fucking mind. You saw that guy with 5-2 suited on the bubble earlier lose his mind. People lose their mind all the time.
I bend it.
You bend it. I don't hate it.
If I call and win, it is very, very, very nice for me. If I call and lose, I lose lots of money.
Josh's not gonna lie, he's gonna fold there.
It's a weird one. I mean,
It is a
I
weird one
I
because
tagged it
there's
as
eyes.
well at the time.
The stacks on the other table might dictate a fold here because if there's like a bunch of 7 big blind stacks, then we've got a pay jump to think about and a final table run to make.
It's such a
It's
strong
just
hand for
it's
the
just
position, but
yeah. I don't think I can bring myself to fold it though.
I'm only
Like
beating in my head though. Like, well, I'm beating a lot of hands, like a lot of suited aces.
yeah, suited aces are going to 3-bet jam with flipping against a bunch of
Mm.
against loads of pairs that do this.
But in
And
my
it's a
head, it's
flip
like
with a bunch of dead money in there, remembering. Like I mean not loads of dead money, but some dead money. Like
in my head.
some people avoid flips thinking oh it's a 50-50, forgetting that there's like 4 or 5 big blinds out there to make the flip a profitable thing, you know.
Yeah, just in my head, I'm like, I just don't need to take the gamble here. I don't know. That's why I went for it. But anyway, this is up to the final table now.
Cool.
So I think we're gonna call it a day there. But Ian, you've been
Mm,
wonderful, and you didn't make
thank
me
you.
cry. Just for a bit a couple of times.
Oh, it wasn't harsh enough, damn.
Um,